Hi everybody, quick video on reviewing ethics application forms on Turnitin. So you could approve them or give them conditional approval. Okay. So first of all, you will need to log into Turnitin, where you will see the ethics application class, in this case September 2018. You click there, you could review your application submitted by your students under your supervision. So I'm just going to go through an example. So for example, I could open this first one here. Press OK. Right. So the application loads up. What we're looking for is a few very important things. Okay. Firstly, the student must provide sufficient details on their research topic, the purpose of their topic. So usually from our introduction, research aim and objectives, of course, a research question. All right. And then of course in methodology. This is very important because this is basically what we could utilize to determine if they're going to actually have any ethical issues. So they must tell us or give us details about how they plan to actually collect their data. Okay. The other important thing we're looking for is the completion of the checklist. So typically our students will not be ticking yes to questions 6 to 27. So only questions 1 to 5 apply to our students, right? Involve human participants that in most cases will be a yes. Utilize data not publicly available. Okay, that's going to be a yes because students are doing primary research, primary data collection. Create risk to individuals or companies that could be identifying outputs. This one could be a yes because they may choose to use the company name in the report. That will be obviously mitigated by a permission letter from the company stating that they can use the name of the organization. Question 4 will be a no. And question 5, gatekeeper corporation. Gatekeeper here refers to the organization for which they're doing the research. They must get permission from someone in authority to access the employees or the customers or the leaders or managers from which they're collecting data. So this one is going to be a yes, right? Now there are cases where students might be doing research with, say, entrepreneurs, and these entrepreneurs are themselves the gatekeepers or the owners of the business. So in that case, they do not necessarily have to get a permission letter because those entrepreneurs will then sign a consent form at the time of doing or conducting the interview with the participants or the entrepreneur. So that's a special case where students may not necessarily need a permission letter because the entrepreneur who they are interviewing are the owners of the business, and of course they are the only participants in the research. Okay, but in all other circumstances, once you are doing research specific to a company or organization and you're collecting data from individuals within the organization or affiliated with the organization, the students need to get a letter of permission. Okay. So typically only questions 1 to 5 apply, all the other questions will not apply. So because of that, because they have ticked yes to some of the questions between 1 and 11, and no to all other questions, they fall into the, of course, risk category yellow, which means they have to complete section 4 and 5 of this form, do up a PIS, participant information sheet, and submit all of these to the DREP, which is what you are doing now, you're reviewing it. Okay, so firstly, let's go to section 4, right? For each question, they should provide a mitigation plan for mitigation plan of how they're going to deal with the risk. Typically, they will say they will get informed consent using a consent form, using a participant information sheet. They will respect the rights of the participants, right of voluntary participation, right to withdraw, privacy and confidentiality. Okay, all data will be stored on password protected computers, right? Personal and sensitive information will not be collected from participants. and all identities will be anonymized as soon as possible. So some of the typical things you want to read in there, okay? And for question 5, as I said earlier, they need to obtain a letter of permission, which we expect to see attached to this application form a bit lower down. Right, section 5, pretty standard. Question 1 will be yes, question 2 will be yes, question 3 is not applicable to our students, question 4 is yes, 5 is not applicable, 6 not applicable, 7 not applicable as well. Okay, so just make sure they have yes, yes, not applicable, yes, and then 3 not applicables. So from there, what you should see now attached is the student's participant information sheet. Make sure that they have customized the items on the sheet. So they have put some customized responses to these sections on the actual sheet itself. So just make sure and double check that. They should also provide you with a blank consent form. That's not absolutely mandatory, but if they have it, that's fine. And of course, the ethics quiz certificate, it should say you have passed the ethics quiz. So that's proof that they did it online training. And of course, lastly, a letter of permission from the company which they are doing the research on. And that letter should have a proper letterhead, it should have a proper signature, a proper stamp, and it should clearly say that they have been granted permission, okay, to conduct the research, and if whether or not they can use the company's name and any other special conditions may be stated on that particular letter of permission. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you're happy with the application, what you do is you come to the grade form here, all right? And you can say 1, I've it listed below here. 1 is approved, 2 conditional approval because you may need to include the permission letter and so on. And 3 not approved, need to resubmit new applications. So in this case, I'm happy to approve this one. So I'm going to put 1 and have approved here. And then press apply to grade, the 1 shows up there. So the students will be able to come back to Turnitin once we email them to tell them, please go to Turnitin to review your feedback. And they're going to see if their application was approved or given conditional approval and what it is they have to actually fix, okay? So you could actually put comments on the application as well in terms of not enough details of methodology, for example. So feel free to put comments on your application form, or feel free to discuss with the students when you meet them for your meetings, any amendments or issues that you would like to have rectified on the form, okay? So that's pretty much it. You then move on to the next application and you check it, you put the approval status, 1, 2, or 3, put the appropriate comment in here, approve, conditional approval, and if it's conditional approval, what it is they need to fix to get it approved, okay? So that's pretty much it, yeah.